Holy, great and mighty God, we thank you for all the blessings you've given us. Father, we just ask for the leaders here of our community. We ask that you give them the wisdom that they need. And Father, help every decision to be the right decision for the betterment of our community. And thank you again for all the blessings you give us, especially the greatest gift ever offered through your Son, Jesus. In his name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call of members from my left to right. Alderman Terry Jeffers. Here. Alderman Justin Wright. Here. Alderman Corey Thomas. Here. Mayor Gordon Slimmer. Alderwoman Nikki Hardesty.
Here.
Alderman Glenn Jordan.
Here.
Next item is business. If anybody like to say anything for the board, you're more than welcome to. We try to limit to 5 minutes per person. Please note if it's not on the agenda, we can't discuss it. And if it is on the agenda, if we can wait till we get down to that area. So if anybody would like to stand up, state your name and everything, and if they have anything to say, you're more than welcome.
I'd like to just say that we had a beautification committee meeting today. This is our second meeting, and so far we have a citywide trash cleanup event in the works, and we also have a fundraising bake sale in the works, and I think that the people on that committee are really committed to doing several events throughout the year, and it looks like we're gonna get a lot accomplished.
Good deal. Where they gonna have the bakes?
April 9th,
You're gonna
Thursday,
place one on that, Mayor.
Thursday, April 9th,
That date,
Yeah.
starting at 8 AM until they sell out. And the citywide trash cleanup is, March
The
28th
yeah.
of March from 8 to 4 here at City Hall. We'll have more details posted on our Facebook page and things. We iron the details out.
Good deal.
If anybody'd like to bake and donate,
Oh yeah, we need bacon.
we'll be putting out information about that. The bake sale's gonna be here at City Hall.
Okay, anybody else? Not this second? Okay, old business, consider approval or other action regarding the minutes of the regular council meeting held January 21st, 2020, and special call meeting held February 11th, 2020.
I make a motion.
Lynn? Corey?
We got a motion for, we got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, and item B, consider financial court, technology, and building security, court enforcement, and other January monthly report.
Make a motion to accept the report as presented.
Terry?
I second it.
Nikki?
We got a motion for, we got a second, all in favor? All opposed? Discuss and consider drainage improvement projects, quotes from Coker Cotton Drainage Project, and updates from Drainage Legion Corey Thomas.
Mayor Council, I got well, first I'll start off with Coker and Cotton. I got a quote from Tommy Finley with Finley Construction. He's gonna shoot the grade, and then from there we'll be able to move forward with whatever we gotta do. But he's the only quote I have, and it's for $800 to shoot both sides of Coker and Cotton,
That's cheap.
from Smith to Rogers.
It's real cheap.
And that's gonna give us elevation where everything is and everything.
Yes, sir. And then we'll be able to see where water drains and where it needs to drain, and what culverts we have to replace as well.
I'll make a motion that we contract with Finley Construction for the $800 to do the work on Coker and Cotton so that we can move forward on drainage improvements over there.
I'll second it.
We got a motion for, we got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Next item to discuss, consider option for selling surplus police units.
I'm sorry, Gordon, didn't you have more than just Coker and Cotton to discuss this
We
evening?
got an update on Robin Hood, it's on our list for the county, but as with all the rain we've been having, we're behind.
I'm sorry, I thought you had more.
No,
that you-
that's it.
We're
Okay.
hoping as Rocky.
Mayor Council, right now, everything's ongoing. Talked to the contractor, Butch Peterson with Terra Dragline. I thought we were gonna get a break so we could go ahead and scrape this, outfall that goes back by the school and back to, the refuge. But we're gonna have to wait till it dries up for that. And then, we're in the process of, fixing the, hole back there behind the prison farm that goes from the prison farm to Jones Creek. So when we do get a lot of rain, they open up that gate and it goes to the Brazos River to give Jones Creek some relief. And hopefully we're gonna start that within the next 2 weeks, depending on the weather.
And the trees, you're gonna do the trees and stuff like that?
We're gonna fix the hole first, because Harvey made a real bad hole right there where the water came over. We'll fix it first, then we're gonna jump across the, bridge and go from the bridge down to the gate and take all those trees out, so we'll not have any restrictions.
If I might ask a question, what exactly is scheduled on Robin Hood Lane?
Checking that spot at the S curve, checking the grade on it from the county limits to the Stephen F. Austin.
So just, the grader is scheduled to actually cut the grade,
No, to grade.
To
To
grade.
shoot it,
just to
not to
shoot
cut
it?
it. Yeah, they gotta shoot it first.
Okay.
And while you're on that, got the contractor, we took the old fence out.
Right.
And, okay, then when it's drying up, they're gonna go ahead and clean it up where the little low spot is right now and get it back.
Take it out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Rocky.
Anybody else on the drainage or anything? All right, go back to, discuss, consider options for selling surplus police units. There's a company I know Kimberly's been checking on and everything, and I've been watching online, it's called Lemons Auctioneer. They're doing stuff for the county, doing stuff for Sweeney. I mean, almost every city throughout the state of Texas, they auction off, everything from weed eaters to cars to construction equipment or whatever. And, this would be a good deal for us to take the cars and do it. Basically what they do is they charge us a sales fee equal to 5% of the gross proceeds of the sale. And, they take care of all the, putting it on the internet and getting it out to everybody, and, their website's pretty good. I've been following it on some other cities and stuff, been selling stuff, and, we're not costing anything but 5% of what it is. We need to get rid of them. I think it's worth the chance to get with them and, put them on there.
They take care of the title work and everything?
Yes.
You have to take them somewhere?
No, you take pictures and videos, send it to them. They suggest to post it for 2 weeks. And then, you'll have to have kinda like an open house day where you can provide people the opportunity to come and see it. But she said if you take good enough videos of the car running, the engine running, someone driving it forward, moving it back and forth, that usually you can, a lot of people just will do it silencing.
I make a motion, we, put those, is it just the 2 cars?
Yes.
Put the 2 cars to the lemon auction.
I'll second that one.
All right, we got a motion for, we got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
How soon can we get these on there? William, can you have somebody make the videos and whatever we need necessary to get on here?
We do that.
Okay. What is the price that we're gonna ask on those?
It's a
I think we'll let them, it's an auction thing.
They,
so-
okay, so it's not a set, we don't set, saying that we won't take less than.
A lot of your auction
Yeah.
sites start off at like $100. That's your starting bid, and then usually they go up. And since these are running, they'll probably.
I think they know what to put it at.
Yeah, okay.
Most of the time with cars, it's been like they're running and
Yeah, I
moving,
see- I
they're
think
mostly
they-
like $500 where they start, anywhere from
Right.
$300 to $500 to start off.
Okay,
I think they do all the county vehicles and stuff up at
Yeah,
the county
They
farm.
do, that's who I
Yeah.
got them from, was the county.
perfect.
So they got the officers starting now.
Did you take a vote? Did we take a vote?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, next item, discuss, consider approving a plat of two-lot division composed of a 29.639 acre tract and a 4.252 acre tract of the Hart subdivision, also known as locally as 6140 East Stephen F. Austin Road. I think what we decided to do, because of all the engineering problems and everything that we're not up to date on, is to, let the county do it so we make sure we're done right. So there's too many unknowns for us, and they got the engineers to do it, and they said they can do it for them and get it fixed up and not make a mistake on it like we possibly could.
You good with that? Yes, sir, I'm not sure who to contact, but.
I can get you.
We get you all that.
So, I'll make a motion that we waive our right to replat this piece of property and that we allow the county to take over in this, action.
We got a motion for, we got a second, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Discuss and consider contract with Missouri County Election Department for the general election of May 2nd, 2020. We have to do this every time.
Make a motion that we sign the contract.
Gary, Nikki.
We got four, we got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next item to discuss and consider bids for solid waste disposal and recycling services. Yeah, do you want to speak anything on anything, or?
Want to answer questions if we have them?
Yeah, any questions if y'all have them? I'm sorry, my name is Hank Castillo, I'm the operation manager at the Ingleton location. I've been in the business for, this July will be 21 years.
For Waste Connection?
Well, I was with IESI back then, and then Waste Connection bought, or they merged with Waste Connection, but I've been in the business, waste business about 21 years.
Do y'all still own the landfill?
Seabreeze?
Yes, sir. It's still Waste Connection. We're still two different entities, but it's the same company. Yeah.
And y'all have heavy haul capabilities as well?
Yeah, they're the ones that-
Yes, sir.
They're the ones doing it now.
Yeah, we're the original vendor.
And with the new proposal, I think that we're talking about now, that, with a $2 increase, instead of having heavy trash haul off once a month, we can have it twice a month.
Or every other week?
Every
other
Did
week,
you talk to Able
the-
today? Did you talk to Able today?
I spoke with David today, and also last week about that, and we're willing to do something like that, go every other week with a longer term.
Yeah, it's about a
believe-
5-year, a 5-year.
5 years,
contract.
yes, sir.
2-year commitment.
To show more commitment in both sides to make it work.
Will that price be locked in for 5 years?
No, sir, it'll be locked in for the first year, and then there'll be, I guess not a cost, but there'll be something in the contract to where we are allowed to do a CPI,
What,
every
2%?
year.
2%?
No more
The
than
most,
2%.
no more than 2%, if you see, that's what you see, and it can go either way, depending on the CPI for that particular coming year.
If we signed a 2-year agreement with you without the bi-weekly heavy haul, would that rate be locked in for the 2 years?
I believe that the rate is locked in for the 2 years, but it'll stay as is, what we bid it on, which was, I think, the price $13.45, and once a week, once a month, heavy trash haul.
So is it possible to lock in the rate for 2 years with us, if we sign a 5-year contract,
And then CPI after 2?
and then the CPI after 2? If you're willing to sign
Yeah.
2 years with us,
We're willing to work with, really willing to work with y'all, and just try to do what we can to help, to make it happen. That's something that we can discuss.
okay.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Would the heavy haul apply to customers outside the city limits that don't get it right now but still pay through the city?
It'll be just city limits.
And my second question, what about recycling?
So I was just gonna ask that. So I talked to Abel and he said that that price would be north of about $20 per home. Was that
Yeah.
on a across the board, or could that be just per house as they choose to do recycling?
Yeah, it'll be hard, it'll have to be across the board.
Okay.
It'll be hard to capture one customer, or say 10 customers out of the whole city. It won't be, it's gotta be.
It would have to be across the board. Everybody would have to
Yes,
participate,
ma'am.
and it would go up.
And recycling is
Very expensive.
It's very expensive now.
I have a
Everything is
question
going
about
on.
the recycling. If, the city were to do recycling, events, say we did a quarterly recycling where people brought their recyclables here, would we be able to work something with your company to be able to pick that up if we did it, say, 4 times a year?
Or have one location
Yeah, like
throughout the year?
Just right right here.
Like, it's in certain areas where we do, cleanups on certain cities that, they volunteer.
Yes.
And the cities, but they bring us
Yes.
the trash, like West Columbia. They totally went away from recycling because of cost. But I did say, we're willing to work because they were getting a lot of, from the residents. So we said we can work, we can always put a roll-off box at the event, a cleanup event, that they'll man, make sure it's not contaminated.
Yeah.
We can try it and see how it goes, and I'll be willing to offer the same here. I don't know if we
That'd be
do we do anything,
We're working on it.
We're working on
Like I
it.
said, we're.
I know we do once a week, once a month cleanup, but we actually send a truck every street. But it's something that we're gonna have to put somewhere, so it has to be.
But is
manned
that
by
for just
somebody.
regular bulky trash that would be for recycling? Do y'all have any kind of special bins just for recycling?
Well, it'll be a regular, roll-off box that we
Oh, and
use.
then y'all process
And
it?
it's for recyclables.
Yeah, you'll only use it for recycle, but it will have to be manned, somebody actually
Right,
have to
right,
make
if
sure.
we had,
Oh, for sure.
if we
If
had
it-
the
if it's
vents.
contaminated, then.
Right.
you
Yeah, the
shouldn't
whole thing
bother.
is gone, right?
But
We-
you're
we
saying
can
with
give it a
that
try.
one bin would do papers, cardboard, and plastic in the same roll-off, and then you would
Now
separate
these days,
that?
everything's commingled. All recycling is commingled.
Oh, it is, okay. Okay, so that's an option.
Yeah, back in the day, it's just the cost of, separating on a route, so everything's commingled and then they'll take it to the facility.
Process
where they
facility, and
process
that's
it.
where they, okay.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
I mean, it's something we can try and see if it works, depending on the participation.
And it would have to be banned or something like that?
Yeah, just to make sure that it's not
Right,
contaminated.
and I think we can make that work,
We
yeah,
can-
while we
we
take
can
that
have
work.
somebody here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right, we can be somebody here anyways.
Yeah.
You got brother Brett.
Might call the box and go
So-
with it.
How much time do we have to, I mean, if we didn't make a decision tonight on this, where we could discuss it, I mean, or where we could think, I mean, what is, I mean.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we got into May.
April.
That's when it's,
April.
is it April?
Mhm, I think
Yeah,
so.
right now we're in that year.
Extra year of our contract.
Extension, yeah.
But y'all are willing to do 2 years at the set price that
Where
you
it's
bid.
at now.
Yeah.
And then after 2 years, if we sign a 5-year commitment, after 2 years, y'all do the CPI, and if no more than 2%, right, it can increase.
So
no-
more to, yeah, if we,
But it could decrease too.
yeah, if we do the 5 years with every other week, then it'll be, the first year it'll stay, and then the following year, there's a possibility of doing, allowing us to do, CPI. But keep in mind, that can go, CPI can go either way, it could be,
Increase, it
positive,
could be a
and then it could be
decrease.
negative.
I think it would keep us, I think that will also keep us from having so much stuff sitting out there for so
So
long.
I agree, but 2 times would,
Right.
twice.
That's
That's
why,
why-
and I do think
Give
that
us
if we
2
did,
years in a set rate. 2 years in a set rate.
Ma'am?
would you
If
do
we
2
sign the
years?
5-year contract, will you give us the 2-year set rate and then CPI after that?
That's what he said.
Again, we can, I can go back and talk to them and see what they tell me.
Okay,
I mean, we still got a little time
Yeah.
to narrow it down, work together, and figure out what's the best for, of course, the city and also us.
Right, but it's like I told Mr. Marino over email, I think that if we could do heavy bulky trash every other week, y'all would be
Yeah.
recovering less bulk, and then probably wouldn't take up quite as long.
It'll cost us more overall.
Right.
Because
Because
we're
we're running
running
trucks
the
more.
extra equipment, and labor behind it. Customers will have it out, they won't have it out, it just depends. I think y'all did put a 4-yard limit in the bid. So we're looking at, instead of 4 yards, now we're looking at 8 yards. every other week. So maybe if we go down to 2 yards every other week and still keep the 4 yards,
Right.
that's something that we can do and maybe get the 2 years. That might help.
Right.
That might help, to get them the,
I say, come back with us and see what we can do.
Yeah, I think we need to see what you can come up with and bring it back to us.
Table it to the next meeting.
Yeah.
absolutely. Like I said, we'll
Yeah, we can get that information to Kimberly, and then we can,
Yeah.
Would move
And we appreciate you coming.
Yes, sir, and I should be able to get that, by end of next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
I'll make
Thank
a
you.
motion, we table it to the next meeting.
Yes,
The decision.
Corey.
we got a motion for, we got a second, all in favor, all opposed?
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you, appreciate you coming.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, discuss, consider purchasing new computers and adding a server for the municipal court through the court technology fund.
So, they no longer make updates for Windows 10, or I mean,
7.
yeah, that's what I meant. Bella's computer is, 2013, Beverly's keeps shutting on and off. We don't know what's wrong with that.
Got one of them.
So, yeah. So unfortunately, both of those computers run Windows 7, so they no longer can. And then on the computer that we use as our server for our encode for our courts, system, every Monday we have to restart it. It's what our payment group uses for people to do their trash bills and to pay their court fines online, and so sometimes it's kinda sketchy. So I think, my suggestion would be to bring this into the 21st century to purchase a server, an actual server. I have a quote from Dale, it's, $4,326.48. And then I have 2 quotes for some all-in-one computers, one's for $950, the other one's for almost $1,200. There is how much money in the technology fund? $24,000, and you can only use that to purchase software and equipment and things for the court. So it would be my suggestion to purchase the judge and the court clerk a new computer and then a server for their court system to house on, so that we don't find ourselves in a malware problem or and other things like that, so.
But the fund, money would come out of the,
Technology.
I make a motion, we move forward with this.
I'll second that.
Okay, Terry,
We got a motion
Nikki.
for, we got a second, all in favor, all opposed?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was like, thinking my computer will be going all the way.
Yeah, I'm sure by noon, anyhow.
Discuss, consider extending part-time maintenance worker position.
So this is Miss Dana Pomeranke. She is fantastic. If you haven't seen her out and about around town. Our full-time maintenance worker is scheduled to come back tomorrow with, so good thing, because we've missed her like crazy. So I just would like for Christy to have that extra person until the end of the fiscal year. That way they can finish getting all the street signs up and just kind of finish getting everything. Dana is a wonderfully hard worker, and so.
Yeah, she hustles, boy.
Oh, yeah,
She was park director, included.
she was, and so
Yeah.
she brings a wealth of knowledge with her, a wealth of knowledge.
I make a motion that we extend her term here.
We're gonna take care of
We got a motion for,
it. You wanna second it?
That's fine.
Sure.
we got a second, all in favor, all opposed? Discuss and consider recommendations and updates from the Safe Street Committee.
Well, Mike's not here.
Yeah.
Other Mike, would y'all like to provide an update on what we've done
What we said,
on safe streets?
Yeah, we're just at a stage that we're just going through different proposals to do. She's found out that the speed bumps are out, and to lower the speed limit in Jones Creek, we gotta get a survey and a bid, and we don't have any kind of money for that. So what I consider what we are looking at is stop signs. We can seem to be able to put up stop signs without a bunch of bureaucratic, you know what, So, anyway, President said it.
There you go, go for it.
Good job, Mike.
Anyway, so again, that's where we are. We're just kinda, we're working on it, is what we're
Street
trying,
lights, we
and
talked
coming
about
up with a
street lights
solution.
too.
And if anybody's got any suggestions, we're more than welcome to.
Hear 'em, talk about 'em.
Bus stops, trying to talk about, little bus stop area lighting for the kids that, you know, cause it's so early in the mornings and stuff like that. And when people come through there, it's hard to see them if they're dressed in dark clothes and stuff like that. Maybe get some more lighting up and stuff we talked about, maybe there's some funds, try to find some funds to get some more stuff in certain areas too.
And I've got the numbers, and I got some call outs to see if we can get some representative surveys, so that way they don't have to survey every single road. And if they can do representative sampling, it'd be like, say, the Terrace, around Live Oak, around Blue Bonnet and whatnot, so we're not incurring a fee for every single road. It may not be outlandish and may be feasible, so that way we could potentially lower speed limits. Back in December, whenever we did a few simulations, some of these roads, some of the smaller U-turns, Ivy Court being one of them, there's no way the driver, the participant could even make the turn at the speed. You know, it was 30, and she doing 25 miles an hour. It's like she was drifting around the curve. So we definitely need to do something. There's children out playing, and so we need definitely to do something about it. So I'm hoping that we can get some of these shorter street limits lowered. So I'll negotiate with these companies and see what we can come up with.
Just let y'all know, we are working on different broad things, you know, even signs for the mud boxes, you know, hey, caution, kids that play, even some of that stuff, you know, visible signs, you know. I don't know about some people, but I see them, I drive all over the county, and when I see that, it's okay, where's the kid gonna be, you know? So there's different options we're looking at. We just haven't, got all of our ducks in a row, but we are working on it.
Randomly rolling out spikes occasionally.
Yeah. Just to get their attention.
There's no action.
That's it, just table the kids.
Well, no action.
No action, no action.
We'll bring it up when we have
Thank you all for the work that you're doing.
Okay, discuss, consider appointing Robert Bosco to the Jones Creek Police Reserve Force.
Okay, Robert comes from, lives in Carroll 400 on the Missouri side. He's around 26 years old. He currently is working for Hillcrest Village up near Allen. And our problem is I've got two part-time officers that are long-term disability at this point. I got one part-time that's been out for 5 weeks, and we are hurting for people. So I'll get one in for part-time.
I'll make a motion to appoint it.
Justin, Corey.
We got a motion for, we got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I have his oath of office, by the way.
Okay, the next, discuss, consider appointing Chief Deputy Kristen New from part-time to full-time position.
Okay, in this case, we are getting a little bit more busy out here than what we have been. Since Saturday, we've had 4 assaults and 1 sexual assault. And all these takes a lot of time. Get warrants out, get DA packets done, and such as that. Last night, we was out of one from 11 o'clock till we shoot home around 3 o'clock today. And so she's putting in a lot of hours. And since she's doing that, I'd like to make her a full-time position. She's putting in the hours already to do it.
Well, so, would you be willing to take money from your reserves?
Don't have to.
You're gonna have to, yeah. And what about making her salary?
That's something we can talk about.
Just that way, we can squeeze it into the budget. But and we can make it work. I crunched the numbers today. We can definitely make it work.
So we just need a table, or we can?
No, you can.
No, we can go ahead.
I think just personal experience, I've dealt with her, I've seen her defuse this situation next to our house, you know, that could have turned, you know, pretty the wrong way. And I think she's definitely qualified and provides a good resource to our community. Honestly, I thought she was full-time already.
She's been putting in the hours, it just not full-time position.
I make a motion, we approve it full-time.
You made me, you already made
second, all in favor? All opposed? Okay, future agenda items?
I have one future agenda item. I'd like to discuss the beautification committee putting a food box out here at City Hall. One of those, boxes where a resident is willing to build the box for us, and they're just looking for a place for it, so I'd like to put on the agenda that we discuss putting it up here.
I know a good maintenance guy that knows how to build stuff like that.
We have somebody we're gonna do offer to build it, but we.
What'd you say?
He's looking around, it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
I didn't hear what you said.
Would you like to build something like that for us?
We've already got a build plan.
Oh, you already got built?
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
It's okay.
He's just excited, he just gets excited.
But, go ahead.
At the January meeting, I asked for the update on the Safe Routes to School,
We were
Grant.
denied that grant,
and it wasn't on the agenda, so I was just curious.
sorry, but yeah, we were denied it, so.
I would like to add Safe Streets, just in case we have more updates next month.
Drainage as usual.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Nikki, Justin.
Got a motion for, got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank y'all for coming out.